Honour for me to be here today, especially at this most important time for Somaliland. Over the past 2 years, I've been speaking regularly in the European Parliament on the issue of Somaliland's re-recognition. And I call it re-recognition because you already have had your independence once. It's not about recognition, it is about re-recognition. And I've also had the honour of welcoming Somalilander politicians to both the European Parliament and the House of Lords in London. It has been so encouraging to see senior members of the House of Representatives engaging with their international counterparts. And I believe that this is a vital activity in cementing Somaliland's future, and this must be encouraged. The more interaction between international political leaders and Somalilanders, then the more chance that we will see a shift in attitude towards Somaliland's re-recognition. Since declaring her independence from Somalia, there can be no doubt that Somaliland has taken her place in the international community and has played an active part in bringing peace to an area not known for its stability. Somaliland has been in the forefront of the fight against piracy and terrorism and has worked closely with all the major powers to combat these threats. We have witnessed a strengthening relations between the governments of the West and the government of Somaliland. And you only have to drive through the centre of Hargeisa today to see the rapid development that comes from a successful economy. Somaliland's successful telecommunications industry is a model for the rest of Africa, and the development of Berbera offers huge opportunities for entrepreneurs from within Somaliland and from overseas. And yet we always come back to the issue of recognition. Without recognition, as we all know, it is difficult to operate successfully. Travel, insurance, banking, postal services, all the things the international businessmen take for granted are denied to Somaliland. This in turn makes the creation of viable jobs for the youth of the country nigh on impossible. Denying hope to another generation and ensuring a country that is desperate to stand on its own 2 feet remains aid dependent. If I may speak from a European point of view, for the moment I must stress that these issues cause me great concern and should also worry my European colleagues. We are facing huge problems in Europe from extremism, terrorism and uncontrolled migration. We see enormous splits in Europe over the issue of migration, especially between the older and newer members of the European Union. We have conflicts in Libya, Syria, Iraq, Yemen and Afghanistan, which creates the conditions for extremism and for mass migration. If we are not careful and if we do not provide practical help for Somaliland, we will create the same conditions here. A generation of well-educated young people that cannot get jobs, that cannot provide for their families, that cannot enjoy the material improvements that we see around us in Hargeisa are going to become disaffected. With a seemingly uncaring West, where do they turn? Either they run the risk of becoming radicalised, which brings further instability to an already unstable region, or they simply leave and attempt a deadly journey to Europe. Somaliland has been a beacon of stability in the Horn of Africa for so long. My fear is that without recognition and the economic benefits that this can bring, then we have a time bomb ticking in our midst. I know that Somaliland has a first-rate education system, a system that you are all rightly proud of. However, we in the West need to provide you with the tools that enable you to utilise the skills of your graduates, and that means jobs. The young people of Somaliland leaving for Europe, America or Canada represent a disaster for Somaliland's future. Re-recognition is not the panacea to all of Somaliland's problems. However, it will allow Somaliland to become a fully fledged member of the international community, taking its place in the international agencies and benefiting from full membership. Re-recognition will provide a more level playing field in trade and diplomacy and remove the international impediments to commerce that currently prevent the Somaliland private sector from maximising their true potential. Re-recognition will enable the government to provide watertight legal guarantees to international investors that will help develop sectors such as oil and transportation and bring in the jobs that we need. But most importantly, re-recognition will reward the Somaliland people for their dedication to democracy, to the rule of law and to decency. It will be a reward for their friendship in times of strife, their friendship to the United Kingdom in the last war, and to their unwavering support in the fight against extremism, terrorism and piracy. And ultimately, it is a tribute to the spirit of the Somaliland people. A reward for adversity, for battling adversity, civil war, drought, famine and international neglect. I should like to finish with a plea. I know there is controversy around delayed elections, voter registration and other aspects surrounding next year's elections. I understand that this is a pivotal election in the history of Somaliland and that tensions naturally run high. From a British and European perspective, we can only admire your commitment to democracy, especially in such difficult and trying circumstances. Many African countries have not followed your commitment and are consequently in a perilous state. As a friend and someone who is a champion on the international stage for Somaliland's re-recognition, I say please, please, please maintain your commitment to the democratic process. I know there will be provocations, but if you can continue to meet and discuss these issues with your opponents and find a way through, then Somaliland is in safe hands. We are going through momentous change in Europe. As we speak, our decision to leave the European Union is taking us into uncharted waters. However, an independent United Kingdom, free to act in its national interests and unfettered by the European Union, can pursue its own foreign policy. What an opportunity to take the lead in re-recognising Somaliland and to work with you to make this country the jewel of East Africa. Thank you again for your kind invitation to address this distinguished parliamentarians, and I look forward to meeting and talking to you during my brief stay in Somaliland. Thank you.